Morning, July 5th, 2021, second summer of the COVID. And I forget who said it, but somebody said, there is enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. And that is something to think about. There is enough food for everybody to eat, but there is not enough food to satisfy the greed of a handful of people who want to devour everything. Greed is the disease that is afflicting modern, Western, and Westernized society. It is the disease that has afflicted capitalism and also state communism, as we see in China. What the Chinese are doing today is basically what America was doing up until the 1950s, when they made concessions to communism to give the workers basic rights in order to prevent workers from rising up in rebellion. And it's also what the Americans are trying to revert back to. The so-called Gilded Age, the age of unrestricted capitalism, unrestrained greed, and grotesque, tasteless, uncultured, how to even describe it, displays of obscene opulence. There is opulence and there is obscene opulence, and there is a difference. Just bear with me, if you will. China has become communism for the poor and extreme capitalism for a very small class of the obscenely rich. State communism, it's as though Christianity forgot about the importance of giving to the poor, and that's basically what has happened in China. Is state communism as a religion has abandoned the principles of socialism. Kind of like the way that Christian fundamentalism has abandoned the principles of Christianity. Yeah. So here we are, the 21st century, hurtling headlong into the very worst conditions of the 19th century. Unrestricted greed, unrestrained capitalism, and a complete lack of shame among the new class of billionaires, whereas the old capitalist industrialists could be shamed into doing the right thing. These new capitalist billionaires cannot be shamed because they have no shame. They are shameless. Bezos and Musk and Prince, yeah, and all these other obscenely wealthy people, the DeVos family, the whole DeVos family, the Trumps, of course, the Goldmans, the Sox, the Rothschilds. All the obscenely rich billionaire families that are currently sucking the earth dry. The multi-billionaires, the men without culture and without shame, whose only virtue, if you can call it a virtue, is greed. These men are no different than the new capitalist class arising in China. Equally a shameless class of rapaciously greedy people. eager to display the symbols of wealth, and utterly incapable of comprehending noblesse oblige, the obligation of those who hold power to do what is right for the benefit of those who do not have power. Noblesse oblige, a beautiful concept that has been cast to the wayside, along with restraint and good taste. And it doesn't matter if you're a South African son of privilege, or if you're an American son of privilege, or if you're a Chinese son of privilege. If you're a son of privilege and you don't have the sense of noblesse oblige, then you are nothing more than a parasite, a rapacious, destructive parasite. The multimillionaires of the 19th century could be shamed into donating huge amounts of money, into creating meaningful scholarship programs with universities, into donating for the construction of hospitals and schools all over the world. The Carnegie family built libraries all over the continent. These people could be shamed into doing the right thing. And where they could not be shamed, they could be legislated through taxation. Taxing the obscenely rich built the infrastructure that we now see crumbling around us. And now that we no longer tax them, that infrastructure is decaying. You cannot build a functioning state by taxing homeowners. You might as well be taxing the peasants to feed the lavish lifestyle of the nobility that lives in Versailles. And we all know how that ended. Chop, chop. Yes. We all know how that ended. There is enough for everyone's need, but not everyone's greed.